the signs and the message that they have standing shoulder to shoulder with these students. Mark and Rachel.
Yeah, Jasmine, hi, it's Mike at the desk. You know, as we're sitting there listening to her, I want to make it clear, we don't know yet, right, that there has been any kind of dispersal order or an unlawful assembly order given at this point. Nothing that you've heard, right?
Well, I guess I just spoke to Barry, my other photographer, who was here this morning at around 7 when those protesters first set up that, I guess, the mini gathering or encampment, if you want to call it that, on the Kirchhoff Quad area. But he did say that the LAPD showed up, and around 12:30 they did declare over the loudspeaker unlawful assembly, and that's when the group said, okay, well, then we're out of here. And they marched over to Murphy and Dodd Hall, and that's where they gathered. So there was that push from the LAPD and the UCLA police to go ahead and tell them, yeah, you can't bring in the food and supplies, as you just heard from the professor there. That's when that kind of some tense moments happened, but then they did break it up and they walked over here. So there was the call from police to saying, hey, this is unlawful assembly, you got to go.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, I wonder if they now have, legally, if they now have to come back to this location, you know, and do it again now that they've kind of moved. And now we don't see any law enforcement in this area at all. But I just really quickly want to go up to Desmond Shaw and SkyCal. Des, you've been watching even more law enforcement kind of pour onto the campus. And I know that they moved from where Jasmine is, right in front of Dodd Hall. Is there a command post area kind of that they're all kind of gathering at right now?
No, not that I can see. I mean, if anything,
those guys
it looks like
leaving.
they're all leaving. All of those, yeah, it looks like they're leaving. They're out on Hillgard Avenue right now, headed down towards Wilshire Boulevard, and the police helicopter just told us that they're leaving as well.
Wow.
So, like you said, if they may have to kind of go through that bureaucratic process again, because now they're in a different building, and if it's got to be UCPD that has to issue that, or what the deal is here. But, you know, we saw all those officers who were out here in riot gear just maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago, and then they got in their cars, and I was thinking maybe they're just repositioning their cars because they had it right in front of Dodd Hall,
right.
And, you know, they probably didn't want to be that close to all of the protesters. So I thought they were, you know, repositioning, but now it looks like they've left the campus completely. And again, the helicopter left as well. So just like that, LAPD's presence on the campus of UCLA has vanished. And so what is the next step? I think they might be hitting the reset button on this, or if you know, UC is making some other kind of calculated kind of approach to this. If they don't want a repeat of what happened a couple of weeks ago. It's hard to say. It's such a delicate situation, and, you know, obviously very difficult decisions that they have to make about how they want to address this. And at least for now, LAPD, they have left UCLA.
Yeah, and Des, those Santa Monica officers that we saw pull up, it doesn't look like they're there anymore either. You're not seeing them anywhere?
No, I mean, I widened out and was looking everywhere just to see if I could see any law enforcement at all. And my pilot Dylan looking out the window as well, just kind of scouring the campus. We do not see any black and whites all of a sudden here. So a very quick change on the campus. Yeah,
if I can bring Jasmine back in. Jazz, you know, we're just talking to Des. It looks like all the law enforcement has totally moved out. And, you know, there's no violence here, none that we've seen, right, since this morning with that scuffle between the protesters and law enforcement and security. But maybe UCLA is, as Des mentioned, making kind of a calculated decision here to just let everybody kind of do their thing, and as that professor mentioned, express their, you know, their right to protest.
Yeah, that's right. And this is the only group of officers that I'm seeing right now in the lawn area, right across from Dodd Hall. And
so despite there being at least appearing to be quite a bit of activity here, people that I know on the ground at UCLA say things have pretty much cleared up. So I'm going to stop the feed. This was originally the feed from the hearing on anti-Semitism, where Chancellor Block was interviewed with some other presidents of universities. So I am going to go ahead and stop this feed, but it will restart at the hearing. So please feel free to watch that. And I'll see you next time something happens. All right. Have a great day.